Welcome back to Pilates by Brianna. Today's class is going to be another box burn class, so we will be using the box for the majority of the workout. This is more of an intermediate to advanced level class with some variations as needed. It will work the full body, but most of the focus is on the core and the legs. I have my short box set up, foot bar is in the up position, and I want your lightest spring on. So for me, that's on the balance body machine, that's one yellow light spring. So go ahead, get your reformer set up, and I will meet you there. Come to kneel on the box with your hands on the foot bar. We're going to start in a cat-cow. So try to have the hips over the knees. You're going to inhale as you melt the back down, open up the chest, and then exhale to reverse the curve, puffing up through the upper back. So just working through spinal flexion and extension, getting some nice movement in the spine, and getting warmed up for today. Let's go through one more round, inhaling to melt the back down, opening the chest, exhale to reverse the curve, and then find your neutral spine, so your natural spinal position. We're going to go into scapular push-ups. You're going to bring the shoulder blades together and then press the shoulder blades away from one another. So carriage is not moving, elbows are not bending, elbows stay straight. You're just bringing the shoulder blades together, squeeze in between the shoulder blades, and then pressing into the foot bar to bring the shoulder blades away from one another. One more time, and then come back to rest. You're going to press the knees out so you're in a plank, and then pull the knees back in. Inhale to press out, exhale to pull the knees back in. So warming up through the core, shoulders stay pretty much over the wrist, so you're not pushing back with the arms, it's just the legs, moving out to find a plank and a straight back, and then using the abdominals to bring the carriage back in. Two more. Last one, inhale to press out, exhale back in. Staying in your straight back, you're going to bring the left leg out behind you, working through that glute, and then lower that left leg down towards the headrest and then back up. Keep the spine straight, nice, slow, and controlled. Try not to let the back dip too much as you lift the leg up. So you're not lifting the leg so high that you're compromising your neutral spine. Two more. On this last one, you're going to lift it up, hold it up, bring that left leg out to the left, and then back in line with the body. Out to the left, so you're sweeping it to the left, using the glutes to pull it back in line with the body. Spine is straight, you're pushing through the hands, strong in the shoulders. Last one, out to the side, bring it back, and then you'll bring that left knee forward so it's on the carriage. You're going to have the left heel on the box, right toes will be on the carriage. Bring the right foot forward so the right toes are on top of the box, and then press both legs out, and then bring both knees back in. So you're pressing the knees out, so you're in a plank, and then bending the knees to bring the carriage back in. Still strong through the arms, spine is straight. Do a little pause with the legs out straight to really feel the core fire on. Last one, press out. And then you're going to bring that right leg through onto the floor. Left foot will stay where it is. And now as you bring the carriage in, left knee will stay straight. You're lifting the hips up into a pike and driving the right knee in towards the chest. Then that right leg will land as you press the carriage out. Bring the carriage in, left knee is straight. You're coming into a little pike, driving that right knee in towards the chest. Feel the hips float up towards the ceiling as you bring the carriage in. Last time, nice and controlled. And then when that right foot is on the floor, pause, bring the carriage in, arms will float up towards the ceiling for a little stretch. Grab hold onto the left wrist with your right hand, and then dive to the right for a stretch throughout that whole left side. And then come back up to center, hands will go back to the bar. Bring the legs back so the knees are back on the box. And we're going to start that set on the right side. So the right leg will go behind you, spine is straight for our hip extension. Lower that leg down towards the headrest and then lift it back up in line with the body. Spine is straight, core is engaged. You're pressing through the arms. Take your time, we're not rushing through this. Controlling it down, controlling the leg back up. Next time the leg is up, we'll hold it up for our leg sweeps. Bring that right leg out on the side of the box and then back in line with the body. So you're bringing it out to the right, it'll lower down a little bit, and then back up and in line with the body, going for about 10. We'll make this one the last one. When that right leg is back in line with the body, you'll step that right leg through. Foot will go on the carriage. The right heel is up on the shoulder or up on the box. Bring the left toes on the box and we have our pressing out and in. So straighten the legs as you press the carriage back into a plank. Pause and then control the carriage back in as you bend the knees in towards the chest. Your spine is straight from the base of your spine all the way to your neck. So make sure your neck isn't hanging low. I see a lot of my clients do that. Press out one more time, hold it there. Left leg will step through onto the floor and we have our pikes. Keep the right knee straight as you bring the carriage in, lifting the left knee up towards the chest, and then you'll lower back down. That left foot will softly land on the ground. So we're doing our pikes here. Nice controlled fluid motion. Try not to rush through these. It's on a light spring, so it's very easy to move the carriage, so we're focusing more on control. 2 more. Last one. And then pause. Bring the carriage in. Arms will float up towards the ceiling for a little bit of a back extension and a stretch through the front of the legs. And then the left hand will grab the right wrist and dive to the left for a nice little stretch throughout that whole right side body. Come back to center. Sit on the box. And let's stretch out the wrists. That set was pretty wrist heavy, so we want to make sure we just roll them out and stretch through some of those muscles. Good. Step off to your left. We're going to take the box, put it on the ground right next to the carriage, long box position. And then you're going to sit on the box facing the risers. Right hand will go behind your head, left hand on the shoulder block. You're going to press the carriage out. This is the start position. Roll back, bring the carriage into the stopper, and then use your exhale to come back up to a flat back. So as you roll back, the carriage will return to the stopper, and as you come back to an upright position, you're pressing through the shoulder block, so we're getting a little extra resistance for our abdominals. Focus on finding that C curve as you roll back. This one is our last one. Inhale back, exhale back to an upright position, and then we're going to add in a rotation. So you're going to scoop, roll back, pause. Bring that right elbow towards the shoulder block, come back to center, and then return back to your straight back position. So roll back, you'll rotate, bring that right elbow towards the shoulder blocks, come back to center, and return to upright. Two more with that rotation. Last one. And come back to upright. One last variation here. Right arm will go out long. You're going to bring the left leg into tabletop. As you roll back, you'll straighten that left leg out. And as you come back to upright, you'll pull that left knee in towards the chest. So just working into our lower abdominals a bit more and our hip flexors. We're shooting for 10 repetitions here. Inhale back, exhale to help bring you back to upright. And last one. And rest down. Good work. Carriage will come back into the stopper. Come on up. You're just going to bring the box. It's going to stay on the floor, but you're just pushing it forward so it's at the top end of the carriage. Come to a quadruped position, so on all fours. You're going to pick up the strap. It'll go on the left foot. You're on all fours. And then we'll do a donkey kick. So you're going to press that left leg out behind you, and then the knee will come back in. So pressing out, working into the glutes and the hamstrings, and then the knee will return to the box. Spine is straight. Both hip bones are facing the box. So as you kick out, try not to let that left hip roll up. We've got 3 more, pressing out, back in, spine is straight, 2, back in. On this last one, you're going to hold it up, keeping the knee straight. You'll lower it towards the floor and then kick it back up in line with the body. Towards the floor, back up in line with the body. So we did this earlier when the short box was on the carriage, but now we have a bit of resistance. Last one here, and then bring it back in. You're going to put the right forearm on the box, so you're kind of angled towards the left for clam variation. Rotate that left hip out, so you're in fire hydrant, kick it back, and then return. So you're lifting, kick back, back to the fire hydrant, and rest down. So this one, the left hip will be a little bit raised compared to the right. We're working on opening that side of the pelvis. Last one, you'll open, kick out, hold. Keeping the knee straight, you'll lower down towards the ground and then back up. You're still on an angle, so it's hitting a little bit differently than how we just did it. This is working more into the glute medius versus the gluteus maximus that the last variation was. We'll make this one the last one and then bring the knee in, and you can take the strap off the foot and hang up the strap. Come to sit on the box and we'll stretch out that left hip. Left ankle will cross the right knee. Sit up nice and straight. If you need more of a stretch, you'll hinge forward from the waist, and you should feel a stretch in that outer left hip. And then you can uncross the legs, come on up. We'll put the short box back on the carriage, and we're going to work into some of our posterior muscles. Let's change the springs to one medium blue, take off the light yellow, come on the carriage, and pick up the straps. There's 2 options for this here. You're going to either have the toes on the carriage with your knees resting on the box. We're going to go into chest expansion. Or if that feels okay and you want to try to progress, you'll come to standing on the box in a slight squat position. So pick whichever variation, and if neither of those work for you, you can always sit on the box with your feet on the headrest. And we'll go into our chest expansion, so you're pulling the arms straight back, squeezing between the shoulder blades, and then the arms will gently come forward. Spine is straight. One more to go. And rest. We're going to add a hinge into that. So 2 options. You can either go to your knees again. You're going to hinge forward. And then as you pull the arms back, you'll come into an upright position. As the arms go forward, you'll hinge forward again. Or you can do that same thing in standing. So you'll hinge forward in a squat, and then as you pull back, you're coming to an upright position, so adding some movement. So whichever one you feel comfortable with. If you're doing the full standing, just be careful as we're on a moving carriage. So you're hinging forward as the arms go forward, and then coming up to upright as you pull the arms back. So we're working into our upper back as well as our glutes, so pretty much our whole posterior chain. This one will be our last one. You're going to flip the palms so they're facing the ceilings, arms up for bicep curls. You have the two options again. I'm going to be in a stationary squat, just pulling the arms in, bending the elbows, and straightening it out, getting the warmth in our legs, spine stays straight. And again, you can always do this with the knees resting on the box or seated on the box. Two more to go. And last one. You can stand up, give the legs a break. And then last thing we'll do here are our triceps. So come into your squat position again, or knees resting, pull the arms back, hold it there, hinge forward, bend at the elbows and straighten the elbows, working into the back of the upper arms, our triceps. Last time. And then arms will go forward. Carefully hang up the straps, step off to your left. We're going to put the box on the ground next to the carriage again. We'll change the springs. We'll put back on that light yellow spring, take off the medium blue, and you'll sit on the box facing the risers. Right hand will be on the shoulder block closest to you. Press out, left hand behind your head. You're going to scoop as you roll back until the carriage comes into the stopper, and then use the abdominals to come back to upright, pushing the carriage forward. So we have our rollbacks, just adding in the resistance from the carriage. Going for about 10. Two to go. Last one. And then we have the same thing, but we're going to add in the rotation. So you'll scoop, roll back, pause, rotate, bringing that left elbow towards the shoulder block, come back to center. Exhale as you come all the way up, pushing the carriage out, getting that resistance. We'll go for 3, finding that nice engagement in the core. 2, working into the upper back in that rotation. And last one. Good work, you guys. Last variation here. Left arm will go out in front, right leg in tabletop. As you roll back, you'll straighten out the right leg. And as you come back up, you'll bring the right knee into the chest. So adding some movement into that right leg, getting into our lower abdominals. Just the one more. Bring it on in and rest down. Come off the box and we're going to slide the box forward. We have that glute set on the second side. So come to kneeling on the box on all fours. We'll pick up the strap closest to you. Long loop will go on the right foot. Hands are in the corners of the box, shoulders over the wrist. We're going to start with a kick out with that right leg. So extend the leg out behind you and then pull the knee back in towards the chest. Kick out, pull the knee back in. Spine is still straight, neck is in line with your spine, so eyes are slightly forward. You're not kicking up so high that you're compromising that neutral spine. Next time we kick that leg out, we'll hold it out, keep the knee straight as you lower that leg down towards the ground, and then working into the glute as you pull it back up. Down towards the ground, working into our glute max as you pull it back up. Keep pressing into the shoulders. This is our last one. And bring the knee in. We're going to come down onto the left forearm. So we're rotated a little bit for our clam fire hydrant variation. You're going to externally rotate that hip, bring the knee out, kick it back, come back to your fire hydrant and close. So we'll rotate that leg out, kick it back, come back to that fire hydrant, and bring everything back in. Working into the gluteus medius here. Last time, next time that leg is out, we'll hold it out for our extensions. You'll lower that leg towards the ground and then kick it back up, staying angled out. That way we keep working into the glute med, getting a little bit of fatigue in the muscle. One more to go, and then bring the knee in and take the strap off of your foot. We'll come to sit on the box to stretch out that hip, crossing the right ankle over the left knee, getting a stretch in that outer right thigh. You can hinge forward if you would like for a bit more of a stretch. Uncross, come on up. We're going to put on a red spring. You can keep the yellow one on if you would like, or take it off. Come to stand on the carriage for elephant. You're going to have your feet back towards the shoulder blocks, rounded through the spine, hips over the ankles. Moving from the legs, you'll press the carriage out as far as you can, keeping the heels down, and then use the abdominals to pull the carriage back in. Spine stays rounded, pressing out as far as you can, keeping the heels down, using the abs to pull the carriage back in. This will be our last one. Once the carriage is in, you can come to kneel on the carriage. Feet will be up against the shoulder blocks. For roller coaster, working into spinal flexion and extension. Round through the spine, sit back towards the heels. Without moving the arms, you'll use the legs to press the carriage back, and then pull the carriage in with the arms as you lift the chest through the arms. You'll sit back in a rounded position, press back, and then bring the carriage in, lifting the chest up as you bring the carriage back in. So thinking down stretch position as you bring the carriage in. Working into that spinal flexion as you press out, and then that extension as you pull it back in. Last time in this direction, and then when the carriage is in, we'll reverse. Stay in that extension as you use the arms to press out, round through the spine as you pull the carriage in, and then flow through your spinal mobility to come back to a down stretch position. So think of this as a nice flowing spinal movement. Bring the carriage in. Take off that yellow spring, that light spring if it's still on, so you're left on one heavy red. Step off to your right, and we'll do our lunge stretch. Left foot will be up against the shoulder block, right foot is forward. Bend into the right knee as you press the carriage back. Chest stays lifted, feeling a stretch in that left hip flexor. Your choice of staying out in the stretch or moving in and out of the stretch, whichever one feels better for you. Bring the carriage in. This time as you press back, we'll keep the right knee straight. You're on the right heel, so the toes are lifted, getting more of a stretch in that right hamstring. Keep the hips facing forward. So pull that right hip back to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. Bring the carriage back in and come around to the other side, and we'll repeat that. Right foot up against the shoulder block, right knee stays down, left leg is forward. Bend into the left knee as you press the carriage back, lifting up through the chest. Bring the carriage in. We'll press out again, this time keeping that left knee straight, left toes are lifted, the left hip is back to get a stretch in that hamstring. Bring the carriage in and you're all done. Thank you for joining me. If you like this workout, please make sure to subscribe and I'll see you next time.